Yes, people, welcome back to another video. Today, Stefan Borson, football finance expert, has been speaking again about Man City's 115 charges. Let's see what he's got to say.
Yes, the 115 charges faced by Manchester City. The 12-week hearing concluded just before Christmas. The independent commission considering all the evidence before a verdict's announced. What are you hearing?
Well, so Pep has said that the club expects to hear February, March. The fact that he was quite vague on that suggests that actually there isn't a very specific date and deadline that the panel has been given.
What have you heard, Stefan?
That makes sense. I get the opinion that maybe the Premier League have said to City, Karl and that like, yeah, it's probably going to be February, March. Like, it all depends on when they finish their sort of like report, but it's going to be February, March time, that sort of era. Karl probably then told Pep. Pep's obviously told the press. I think that's what's happened.
In terms of timing, nothing. I can only tell you.
In terms of which way it's going.
I know City are confident, right? And City have been consistently confident. And
quick to get to the point there, weren't you, Jim?
And they do seem to be active in the transfer market, although struggling to get deals over the line. They are building a £400 million stand and hotel complex behind one of the stands, which doesn't strike me as the sort of thing that you would do if you weren't confident.
I hear that. I have a slightly different opinion on it, but yeah, City are spending £400 million on a hotel and a new stand. Why would you do that if you think you're going to get kicked out of the league? Bit weird. Linked to Omar Mamouche, 50 million quid. Cousinov, 20 million quid. We need a midfielder. That's probably going to be 40, 50, 60 million quid. If City get these deals across the line, and of course we've not got them yet, does that really strike you as a club that thinks it's about to get kicked out of the league? Not really.
A number of other sort of softer things that I've heard in the background do appear to support that level of confidence, but we'll have to see. I mean, clearly that trial went the full length. It went to 12 weeks. And that means that everything we've said about the seriousness of the allegations must have been true, because you wouldn't run a hearing for 12 weeks if the matters underlying it were not serious allegations and didn't require very serious scrutiny.
I'm not pushing you, Simon, for anything specific, but I know you've got your ear to the ground. What is there anything you can tell us?
I don't think there's as much confidence as Stefan alludes to. I think there might be a challenge, but it'll be interesting to see how that manifests itself, because I don't think the idea that this Gulf State ownership would be doing things differently. This is chump change. The money that they spend on this is nothing in comparison with the wealth that they've got. So I would expect them to continue to evolve and do.
That's kind of where I'm at with the. That's why I don't really look at the new stand and the hotel and go, they've spent 400 million quid, so that we're definitely innocent. Sheikh Mansour and his family, they're worth over £12 billion. Do you know what I mean? I don't really see that for me as like, and the stand will be there anyway. The stand's going to be there. City are not going to be liquidated as a football club if we get found guilty. We'll be maybe kicked out of the league for a season or relegated to League Two. We'll be back in 5 seasons max, and then the stand's there ready to get that income. So as soon as we're back in the league, bang. I don't know. It's just my opinion on that. Do you guys think that spending 400 million on a stand, do you look at that and say, nah, they're defo innocent because why would they do that? Or are you more like me, where is it sort of like the stand ain't going anywhere where we're innocent or guilty, and if we get guilty, we get back in the Premier League and the stand's there ready to go for the new era of Manchester City? Let me know what you guys think on that in the comment section.
Business in the way that they would have been doing it historically. The question is if indeed Man City were to be found guilty, what would they be suffering? What would the sanction be? Because I don't think anyone's got any real visibility or understanding of what that sanction can be. Because I've always felt they have a case to answer, and I've always felt that there was going to be some form of deal done because there was too much at stake here, too much influence at stake here, too much currency. This is a nation state that bought a football club to create an outlook that's now, if they're convicted of something, kind of brings that down around its ears.
I do, and we've spoke about this on the channel many a time. Should Manchester City have done a deal? Well, if they think they're innocent, and they say they're innocent, then why would you do a deal? But at the same time, you know, sometimes you can get found guilty. And I'm not saying City are going to do this is going to happen to City, but sometimes you could get found guilty of something that you didn't do, right? We see that all the time in criminal. Yeah, people get arrested and locked up for something that they didn't do. City, there is a chance, although I know for a fact rival fans are going to hate this, there is a chance that City could get found guilty for something that they didn't do. Now, obviously, it's probably a minor chance, right? It's a minor chance that could happen, but it could do. So, could City have done a deal Simon Jordan suggests thinking that probably could have happened and maybe City should have considered it. But at the same time, if City are not guilty of this, can you really do it? I just don't think you can. I don't think you can. I think it's something that you'd have to consider. You would have to consider it. But ultimately, in a case like this, I understand why City have not done a deal.
So I've always felt that there would be some sort of trade-off, as there often is in life and often as there is in politics, and it would find its way into this situation. But
on the flip side, though, if City were guilty, why wouldn't City try and push for a deal? You know what I mean? On the flip side, I just got me thinking then, if City were guilty, why wouldn't we push for a deal? Say, Premier League, come on, man, we don't want to do this, drag it out in the press. It's going to take years and years and years. Let's do a deal. We'll accept a 30-point deduction, 1-year transfer ban. We're cooking on gas. The Premier League. Or have the Premier League got such good evidence now that CAS didn't have with UEFA that they go, we're not doing a deal. We don't need a deal because we're going to bury you into the ground. So there's loads of different optics. There's loads of different ways of looking at it and saying, if City are innocent, why didn't they do this? But they could have done that. If they're guilty, why didn't they do that? But with the Premier League, blah, 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 blah. It's very... listen, it's not nice. It's not nice, but it's interesting.
But the supposition that I understand is that there are some challenges. Man City are they're not dancing in the aisles right now about how well they think they've done.
You've got a minute, Stefan.
Well, I think there's a massive contradiction about the way that you've just described the case. I mean, at the end of the day, there has been no deal, right? So that's the first thing.
No,
secondly,
I said to you, I thought there might be.
As you say, the whole thing will come tumbling down around them if the most serious charges are proven. I don't.
What does that look like?
I don't think you can sweep it under the carpet.
If the most serious charges are proven, what does the whole thing tumbling down around them look like?
Know, and neither do I.
Well, first of all, the sanction is not something they're going to be able to negotiate. They're going to be a very serious sanction hearing, right?
What would a sanction be then? We don't know.
Well, it'll be a points deduction that will guarantee relegation. I'm certain
you think
of
so?
that.
Yeah,
for the most serious matters. These are serious. I'm saying if the serious parts are proven, I'm not saying about cooperation or some of the other bits and pieces. If we're talking about the fact that for the last X number of years, the accounts have all been wrong very materially, and City have lied to every party, left, right, and centre, and multiple people have given witness statements that turn out to not be true, then of course the sanction will be very, very severe. There can be no doubt about that. I don't even think City would deny that. It will all be about mitigation. And even then, you sort of struggle to say, well, what is the mitigation on very serious matters of this nature? And it's very hard to find them. So, I think that's where it will go if
we'll see.
If proven,
we'll see.
Okay, Manchester City, of course.
Yeah, me and Martin discussed this last night about what would they think, and I think if City get found guilty, I'm with Stefan. I don't think they'll kick us out the league, because if you kick us out the league, you cause major issues in terms of fixtures. Yeah, because if it comes mid-season, what, you're just going to not play the fixtures? What do you do about all the games that you've already played? Do you take the points back? It causes a problem in terms of promotion, relegation. It causes the EFL a problem, because the EFL will then have to decide whether they're going to accept City into their league, because the EFL Championship League 1 and 2 are completely separate as an organisation to the Premier League. Do you put us in the Championship, League 1, League 2? Are you going to get teams in those leagues complaining that City being kicked out, they should go to the bottom? All that kind of stuff. So I think the most likely outcome here, if City get found guilty of the major charges, would be circa 100-point deduction, because that guarantees relegation, and it doesn't throw the relegation of the league, promotion of the Championship, into any sort of problems, and it doesn't give the EFL a headache, because we just get relegated like a normal team. And 100 points deduction would guarantee us being relegated. Right? It could be 70, 80. Anything under 60, and we could actually survive with that good as a team. If you give us a 50-point deduction, we could get 100 points in a season. We've done it before. That'll give us 50 points. We'll be mid-table. So if they want to guarantee us relegation without expelling us to make it easier, 100-point deduction would do that. You know what I mean? And if that happened, listen, it wouldn't be nice, obviously, but you'd fancy your chances that City would bounce back from the Championship first time around, although, you know, the Championship can be a difficult league to get out of. But yeah, listen, it's interesting, because of course we are going to be finding out this now. Pep said February, March time, 2 to 3 months. I mean, it's been a horrendous wait. Yeah, I mean, and I know there'll be fans of rival clubs watching this, and they'll obviously be wanting us to get guilty or whatever. But Listen, it's fucking been annoying. You know what I mean? These last few years of this constant BS in the media, in the press, constantly being asked about it as a fan. It's like, I can't wait for it to be over. And listen, if we get found guilty and it's legit, and I read the document and it's like, you know what, fairs, we fucking done it. You know, we've been caught, this is legit. Then we've got to take our medicine, you know what I mean? And that won't be nice, but that's it. Get on with life, innit? But anyway, that's Stefan Borson, Simon Jordan and Jim talking about the 115 case. Let me know your thoughts on this now. It is getting close to the decision time, February, March. Pep saying, how are you feeling going into this? If City land Marmoush, and 2 other players taking our spend to over 100 million, and Sam Lee, by the way, as well, interesting point, is saying that City are not putting any relegation clauses in anyone's contracts. That tells me that they are confident. They are confident about this, so that gives me a bit of confidence. The stadium's an interesting one. I just don't see that as a major thing for me personally. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash a like. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.